Welcome to I'm Right, You're Wrong. Thank you for watching. I do this as a public service. These things need to be talked about. People need to be forced to hear common sense. It's like, what a tragedy, the death of common sense. It's like, you don't have to be a brain surgeon. I'll explain it all to you. I know exactly what's going on. And it has its roots. It has its roots in Donald Trump is responsible for the death of common sense. Not necessarily him, but the entire Donald Trump fiasco. I'm going to explain it all to you. And I've never heard anybody with this theory. I've never heard, and I think it's 100% true, and that's why you should listen to me, and you should revere me, because I have, for some reason, I have a prescience that other people don't have. Perhaps I'm the let me turn myself down here. Perhaps I'm the Nostradamus of my generation. Donald Trump. Nobody else will say this. This is the whole explanation behind Donald Trump. I didn't vote for Trump. I don't really have anything against Trump. Always found him entertaining. Okay, so Donald Trump's running for president. He's running for president in 2016. And if you watched, I don't watch one station exclusively. I don't watch much on TV anymore, but historically, I just, I try to get my news from independent sources, and I check out, CNN occasionally, I check out Fox occasionally, just to see what each side is saying. And when Trump was running for president, CNN had nonstop, 24-hour-a-day Trump coverage, nonstop. And it doesn't, the old expression, there is no bad publicity. There is no bad publicity. So you had CNN. Every time Trump was at a rally, CNN was there. I'd go out to the bar on a Saturday night, and Trump would be in Tuscaloosa, Alabama for a rally. And I'd be at a bar, and there it is on CNN and the TV, because that's like a default for a lot of people. They're just, whatever, news, CNN. So CNN's playing every time I went somewhere. Trump. You go home, you turn on the TV, Trump on CNN, Trump on CNN. These people aren't stupid. There's no way that a major cable news outfit like CNN is going to give someone hundreds. I mean, you don't understand how much political ads are and how many they run. They gave him hundreds of millions of dollars in free publicity. You know how much it would be to buy like a half-hour block of Trump commercials? They'd do 30 minutes on Trump at the rally, and him, yeah, and the crowd going, wow. You know what kind of publicity that is? even if you're a left-wing person, that's good publicity. You got a guy, and people are cheering him, and he's speaking, with a charisma because he's a TV star. You know how CNN 100%, this is 100% true, CNN wanted Donald Trump to be president. CNN wanted Trump, but you know why? Because the Democratic Party wanted Donald Trump to be president. As soon as Donald Trump was president, it certainly seems like that's when our democracy began to come down. His president was marked by nothing but attempts to assassinate, and I'm just telling you the facts. I don't give a shit whether you like Donald Trump or Joe Biden. But obviously, it's pretty obvious that there was a concentrated effort, a choreographed effort to make people hate him. And I've known Donald Trump for years. I wouldn't say, oh, I love Donald Trump. It would be like, oh, Donald Trump's going to be on David Letterman tonight, and I would be like, oh, I might tune into that, see what crazy things Donald has to say. So I was that kind of, Donald Trump fan. I'm a fan of comedy. I'm a fan of people who have personality. But CNN, so if CNN, they wanted Trump to be president because as soon as he got in, the concerted effort to take him down, and it worked. I mean, if for 4 years, I don't watch enough CNN. I mean, I just see the clips. So I know, when I tune in, I know what CNN's about. And when I tune in, I know what Fox is about. So I tune into CNN, and Trace is here. And Bella's gonna Bella, shut them dogs up! Shut them down in the middle of a live stream. Hang on. Shut up. Bella, get in here. And go lie down by me. And shush your mouth. Everybody shush your mouth. I had to get the dog now. What was I talking? Come on, get over here and lay down. Come on, over here. Oh. Come on, at least get some FaceTime here. There you go. That's a good girl. She's so bad. She's a sweetie. Oh. She's the most grateful rescue I ever had. She just loves us to death. Oh no, that was Trace. It's okay. Now you go lie down. Let me do the show. I'm in the middle of a historic prophecy here. All right. So they got the concerted effort to demonize Donald Trump, which worked. If you tell people for 4 years or 6 years, however long they were telling it, that Donald Trump is the worst person in the world, then a very large amount of people are going to get it. So they wanted Trump to be president because they found that he would be the most polarizing person because he's got the it factor. He's a TV star. He's a billionaire. He owns football teams. He's got the it factor, but he's got the love him or hate him it factor. Some people love Donald Trump. No matter what they're equally at fault. They're the people who cannot, no matter what Trump did. He was like, I could shoot somebody in the middle of the street. They wouldn't do anything. Yeah, they would still vote for him. And some people hate Donald Trump no matter what. So that's part of the way where we've lost common sense. And the reason that they did this is to this day, Donald Trump's still in the news, and there is enough people that loathe Donald Trump that the Democratic Party can do whatever they want to do, which is what they're doing. I used to, back in the day when we were in Iraq and Afghanistan and squandering trillions of dollars in American lives, I was motherfucking the Republican Party a lot. And now, seeing what the Democratic Party is doing is, disgusting as far as free speech and their fake wokeness. They don't give a shit about any of these people they pretend to support. They don't give a shit at all. They don't care about trans people. The Democrats, Joe Biden could not give a rat's ass about trans people. And if you think he does, you're delusional. You really are delusional if you're giving feelings of empathy and acting like these politicians are real people who are concerned about your well-being or others' well-being. You've lost your mind. So the Democrats can do whatever they want. The doctors at the Pentagon can come out and say that 7-year-olds should be able to determine what kind of hormones they take and choose their gender. And I'm still trying to figure out what your rationale is, but you're like, yeah. Whatever reason you find out, but you're going to go along with that because admitting that what your party is doing is bad and pretty awful for the country and for children and things like that, you can't admit that because you have supported them with rabid, venomous ferocity because you've been duped so bad that you have no common sense. America has no common sense because they took one guy and made him the devil, and half the people love him as some kind of god, and half the people think he's evil incarnate. And it doesn't matter what you're talking about. Not one person. There's no argument. There's no debate. You either believe it or you don't. They've managed to destroy common sense in the matter of around 4 years with the help of social media. They orchestrated that. They wanted Trump to be president. The Democratic Party, like in no other time in American history, with the complete backing of almost every media outlet, they do whatever the hell they want. They say whatever the hell they want. They hire ridiculous people. See, here's the difference. If you're a rational person, when Trump had some of the people who were his White House press secretaries, some of them were somewhat ridiculous people. They were very ineffective. You know, he hired several people like that. Trump didn't seem to know how to hire anybody who qualified. I can see that, just as I can see Joe Biden hires people based completely on not only one, diversity, but also piss-off factor, because this is what they do. Like I said, they're not stupid. They want to divide people. And what better to divide people is to put the person out there in front, like Jen Psaki. She was good, a good hire there. She was actually good at her job, a really good liar, really, good at nailing people. But she was too good. We got to get rid of her. Let's bring in Jean-Pierre, whatever her name is. She's not very good. She's the spokesperson. She seems very uncomfortable. She has to look at her notes a lot. She's not really good, but she checks all these boxes, and that immediately pisses people off. Just like the non-binary bald guy who would steal women's luggage that Biden hired to fill the position of nuclear energy disposal chief, or whatever that was. Purely a hire to piss people off. Purely a hire to divide people. Bella's snoring. And when you're so divided, because Donald Trump, for some reason, divided people so much, I'll never understand it, but they hate him so much that the Democrats are now shoving shit down your throat. Like, Bella, you quit snoring. I say it with glee, because I don't care whether you're Republican or Democrat. If you're a super duper partisan and I got a chance to shove it up your ass, I'm going to do it. If you're a Democrat, you got to love you. She's ridiculous, Bella. How can you stop snoring? If you're a Democrat, you have to love the war in Ukraine. And you don't know anything about the Ukraine. You haven't studied the war or its causes, its roots at all. 0%. You were told by the people who tell you what to think in your news feed that Ukraine was good. So you gotta believe that with all your heart, no matter what happens. Verge of nuclear war, inflation through the roof because of printing money to send to Ukraine. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. And I like that. That makes me happy, because there's got to be somewhere deep inside your soul where you're a little conflicted, going, well, I know the Ukraine has nothing to do with us, and we've got all these problems, but I'm just gonna suck on it and own it. I love the Ukraine. You know what I also love? If you're a Democrat, you love open borders and free flow of fentanyl in the United States, is killing 100,000, which would seem a little more important than the war in Ukraine. Would be 100,000 Americans dying on fentanyl, and the streets of many cities just littered with people in fentanyl comas. But you have to enjoy that. If you're a Democratic voter, if you were a Joe Biden supporter, you love fentanyl, and you love the war in Ukraine. And you know what else you love? Since the Pentagon doctors came out with this 2 weeks ago, and it was from the Pentagon, and it was on every major news source. It's not fake. It's 100% true. The Pentagon doctors say 7-year-olds should be in charge of their own hormones. They should be in charge with decisions on their what gender they want to be. So you have to love children making life-altering decisions, possibly amputations of penises or breasts, the creation of sexual organs from other parts of their body. You have to love that. That is a main part of their platform. I don't know if they ran on that, but sure. But now, diversity is the number one thing. You have to love inflation. You have to love inflation. You have to love draining the strategic petroleum reserves down to their lowest in history. And there's if you see the title of it, it's called the the strategic petroleum reserves, because you need it there strategically, especially if something should happen, like an armed conflict. Which, and when you're poking Russia in the chest, it might not be a good idea to drain those reserves. But you got to suck on that. You got to suck on that if you're a Democrat. And you got to like it. You got to like it. And you got to like the inflation, which is not 6%, because, you know what? Well, not just because I know from purchasing things how ridiculous the prices are, but I also know there's shrinkflation. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows or has bought something, or many things when you go to the grocery store that used to be 16 ounces. Now they're 14 ounces, or now they're 12 ounces. Your whatever ounce, 32-ounce cereal box is now, 29. So you can add another 1 or 2 percentage points on that, and they won't even mention that. So you're. Sir, if you're a Democrat right now, you got to suck on all that stuff. I mean, see, and this is why, I'm blessed with the gift of omnipotence. The Republicans, it's like DeSantis. You might like what he did during COVID. You might like the fact that we were open and we were able to thrive. But then if you're a DeSantis supporter, you got to suck on a 6 weeks abortion ban. After 6 weeks, you can't get an abortion in the state of Florida. It's like a lot of people, I'm not a fan of that. But if I was going to support DeSantis, I would have to suck on that. I would have to go, yeah, 6 weeks. That's what I voted for. I voted for that. The constitutional carry. I'm not a huge fan of that. I think the gun, I think a concealed and carry is a privilege. It's a right. To carry a gun, you have to be responsible and take a course and know how to use it. I don't think that's crazy. So I'm not crazy about the last two things DeSantis has done, and some of the things he does strike me as authoritarian. He seems like somebody who's if he believes it's right, he's going to do it and wield whatever power, to do it. And I'm not sure, if I voted for him, I'd have to suck on that. But nobody can admit, nobody can. No, you're not going to hear one person in the entire United States go, yeah, I'm not real happy with any of this stuff that's going on, man. And, my business is, going down, and the inflation and the war and the fentanyl and the crime. But, that guy, that orange guy, that guy's worse. He's worse. That's what they tell me. And I believe it till the day I die, because I can't admit I'm wrong, because I'm an American and I spend 24 hours a day on my social feed, and my social feeds tell me how cool and how right I am. And I will never admit that I'm wrong, no matter what happens. It's getting close to where something's going to happen, and they'll come on, girl. They got you. It's just like the Hunter Biden laptop. I don't give a shit about the Hunter Biden laptop. I don't give a shit that Hunter Biden was smoking crack or having sex with Russian prostitutes. I don't care, But there's a lot of other stuff that you could argue is important with the Hunter Biden laptop and, what he's doing and probably getting payoffs and everything. But you can argue that, that I don't care about it. But to deny it, this is one of those things that should blow your mind. If you're on the left, it should blow your mind that your party did this, and you should open your eyes. Okay, so you got the laptop story, the New York Post is, reporting on it, and then you have every other media outlet say it's fake and it's Russian propaganda. Okay, nobody at the time knows whether it is or not. You have 51 former United States either FBI or CIA, national security agents like that, say and sign a petition that says 100% that the Hunter Biden laptop is Russian disinformation. Lo and behold, 5 months ago or so, they're like, yeah, well, I think this is the New York Times, so they're very left, incredibly left. Everybody knows that. Yeah, the Hunter Biden laptop story was real. So what would make 51 former CIA, FBI, NSA, TBT, HIV agents, what would make them say that it's 100% false Russian information? So they would sign it and sign their names and their experience, all their experience, all their credibility. 100% is disinformation when it's 100%. They're all 100% wrong. Is that even believable? And then, as a Democrat, you find all this out, and maybe you just want in your news feed it doesn't even come out. In your news feed as a Democrat, it never comes out that the New York Times said the Hunter Biden laptop is real. Or maybe it comes out in a small blurb and you're like, oh, really? And then you forget about it the next day, even though believing it originally was an incredible fraud, possibly even an election-altering fraud that should shake your belief in your party down to the core. But it doesn't have any effect on you because there's zero common sense. Common sense is dead. They got you. And if you're a Republican, or if you're just a man with a snoring dog that will not quit, if you're a Republican, I hate to say it, mark my words, if they're able to come into power by whatever means, if that's the grand plan, it could all be fake. And then the plan is, then you bring in the Republican. You make it so bad, you bring in the Republican, and he's cracking the whip, and he's changing things. He's executive ordering. We got to fix this crime. We got to fix this inflation. We got to fix it all. And he's taking rights left and right. And you're like, yeah, but we need it. We got to fix this shit. And he's he's cracking down and taking rights. And all of a sudden, there's no this and no that. And there's 10 Commandments in the classroom. And now, next thing, prayer. Now, the next thing, you're a theocracy. It doesn't happen fast, but mark my words. The Republicans, if you think that the Republicans who used 9/11 to take away rights with the Patriot Act never let a good crisis go to waste. So they took away your rights with the Patriot Act. They squandered trillions on an illegal war in Iraq. And then wasted 20 years accomplishing nothing in Afghanistan. You think that crowd's gonna fix shit? You don't think that crowd, that Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham crowd, is full of guys going, "Oh man, did you see what the Democrats did? They did whatever the fuck they want. But we get in power, and we'll pay off the media." Just like the Democrats do, and we'll do whatever the fuck we want, and the people will demand it. The people will demand it. You'll demand it. You'll demand it. You know what you can do? You can't do shit. You can vote, I guess, in your local elections. Try to keep things, good in your local community as good as much as you can. I think, I'm lucky I live in Florida right now. It's because it's booming, because everybody's moving here. I don't know what it's going to be like in the future. It's going to be, it's a double-edged sword. It's going to be great in the short run. If you live in California, everybody's moving out. The government's, your city government's going to pay $5 billion in reparations. I don't know how that's going to work out for your city and its pension fund. But for the time being, Florida's booming. They're building. We're growing. It's going to be great for 5 years. Then it's going to be a shithole full of a massive amount of people with not enough service to take care of them. But hey, I'll take the short run. I'll take 5 years, and then I guess I'll have to move. Shush. Because that Republicans, they're going to be running on this crime. And Democrat-run cities do have, more crime. A lot of these Democrat-run cities have a lot of crime, and a lot of the stuff they're doing with the bail reform but the judicial system, the fact that someone is out after 18 offenses, not necessarily somebody got 18 felonies and then they raped your grandmother. That's not necessarily a Democratic problem. It's a government problem. We're not rehabilitating people. There's not, we don't even attempt to rehabilitate people. The prisons are basically probably just a cash cow for the government to siphon money off of, and then house a bunch of people in bare bones conditions, and ain't nobody being rehabilitated. It's very hard to rehabilitate somebody, let alone when you're not trying. So the Republicans, people, Donald Trump's an outsider. I don't know how you call somebody who's been running for president for like 8 years and was president not a politician. Well, he was president for 4 years, but he's not a politician. 4 years he was president. He ran for president a couple times. I think he still run for president. That's 2 years later. I think he's a politician. But I said this the other day on the Mike and Jerry show. By the way, on twitch.tv/ClusterF show, twitch.tv/ClusterF show, every morning, 8 o'clock, 8 a.m. And I forgot what I was going to say. I got distracted. I completely forgot that one. Trump's going off as Trump. Dang it! It was going to be the kicker, I think, in the show, and I forgot. The show prep giveth, and the show prep taketh away. What's up, Connie Sturgeon? I would have included the middle name, but I don't know if I could say it. Connie Glotzback. I said it right, I think. Connie Glotzback Sturgeon. Andy, AJ, what's going on? Crazy Johnny, Alan Patterson, Melanie Dutcher. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Just saying hi to the chat here. Yeah, so the death of common sense. Well, I don't know where you go from there. I now remember what I was going to say. I'm just going to go back to voting like I've always voted. Chill out, Bella. She can knock over the tree. It doesn't matter. I mean, yeah, sure, there's a 1% chance that Donald Trump's an outsider and he really cares about America and he's on a mission to save it. I'll tell you. Okay, Donald Trump had reportedly talked to RFK, Robert Kennedy Jr., about being in charge of whatever Fauci was in charge of during the pandemic. And then when he got inaugurated, Pfizer gave Donald Trump $1 million for his inauguration, and he put Fauci in charge. So there's a great case to be made that Donald Trump doesn't know what he's doing as well. The pandemic response under Fauci has been one of the most damaging things to America in a long time. And Donald Trump put him in charge and never, there was no Donald Trump going, I'm firing that guy. He never fired him. Fauci did the whole deal. So you could say that Donald Trump is an outsider, or he takes money from Pfizer and makes decisions that greatly harm America. You could say that, and you see what you gotta have an open mind. You at least have to say, well, you got to come up with some. See, this is what you do. You're gonna come. Well, all politicians take money from. Okay, well maybe I thought you said he wasn't a politician. Thought you said he was an outsider. Thought you said he was a billionaire. He doesn't need to take $1 million from Pfizer. He doesn't need to do that. He didn't take a salary as president. But he did take $1 million dollars from Pfizer, and he didn't put RFK in charge of the vaccine deal, the COVID response, and he did put Fauci in, and he sucked on Fauci the whole time. Even when he disagreed with Fauci, but it doesn't matter. Fauci was in charge, and Fauci, and the CDC, he didn't do, in my opinion, his pandemic response was terrible. Ron DeSantis, whether you like him or not, whether you believe what he is or not, whether he's a wolf in sheep's clothing, he had a pretty good COVID response, and he brought in an attorney general. Like if the guy that he brought in, I can't remember his name, but Ron DeSantis's what do you call it, Surgeon General, the state Surgeon General, the Florida Surgeon General. He was no nonsense like DeSantis, and he was like, yeah, we ain't worried about this shit. We got vaccines for the old people and the immune challenged, and other than that, let's party. Trump didn't do that. Trump didn't do that at all. So, yeah, so I don't know what I'm telling you, because Joe Biden is terrible, and the Republicans are going to get in there and ban abortion and ban books and shove God down your throat and suck up to big business and cause war just like the Democrats. Mitch McConnell just said that the Ukrainian war was the most important thing in Americans' lives, and he was going to explain it to you why it was. Sending tens and I think it's over 100 billion of support to Ukraine. That doesn't have any printing money that you don't have when you're already $31 trillion in debt. That contributes to inflation. And I'm not even going to talk today. I'm going to sign off. I'm not going to talk about the U.S. dollar not becoming a world reserve currency, which isn't being covered. And if it happened, which, if you look at China and Russia and Brazil all getting together and paying for stuff with their own money, with their own currencies, that really destroys your status in the world. We have the status. We're number one, top dog. Everybody uses the dollar. We're number one, top dog, USA, USA, USA. As soon as you take away that status, and the dollars are not circulating around the world because the dollar is the world's currency, shit don't get good, and nobody even talks about it. Once again, proven it's all fake. Thanks for tuning in to I'm Right, You're Wrong. We'll see you next Monday at around 11 o'clock. Have a good one.